Okay, Hare Krishna. So today we'll move ahead with the next sutras. So we had covered till this part Vishnu Chakrasya Hari Venur Vishnu Varge Vishnu Padanta Setuva. And of course the test was very good. Means in comparison with the previous ones, this time the energy level was much higher and even the marks. So but still we all need some clarification in particular rules in particular areas and yes. So we'll skip this sutra, this one 115. This is of no much use. Then we'll come to 116. Dvi sarveshwara matra chah. Chah Rama is reduplicated. Like I think by now you'll be able to understand what is Rama. Like in Panini grammar or in normally we say it as chakara, akara. So instead of putting kara, Jiva Goswami uses Rama. So cha Rama is reduplicated when it comes after any Sarveshwara. So for example, Krishna Chatram. So Krishna ends with a Rama, which is a Sarveshwara, and after this follows Cha Rama, which is Cha, CH Cha. So Cha Rama is reduplicated. Reduplicated means we double it, reduplicate it. So it becomes double Cha, Cha and Cha. So Haribo. Krishna Chatram is there. So the Cha Rama follows after A. So by this rule, Dvih Sarveshwara Matra Chah, this Cha is reduplicated and we make it, we redouble it, double it with this. So now the Sandhi is not completed. First we have applied this sutra. Then again we'll apply one more sutra. Now consider it as this as one word or one syllable instead, and this as one syllable. So Cha is a Yadava in itself. If you remember the definition of Yadava, then it is Hari Kamala, Hari Khadga, Shauraya, Yadava, or Yadava Channe. Actually, the sutra is Yadava Channe, but Hari Kamala, Hari Khadga, and Shauri. So Cha follows in Yadava. So when Yadava is there, Yadav Matre Hari Kamalam. So this Cha converts into Cha. And then ultimately the rule or the final form will be Krishna Chatram. Krishna, and in Devanagari it will be Krishna Chatram, like this. So we had two rules here. The first one was Dvih Sarveshwara Matra. Okay, this is okay. Which Sandhi is this one? Mat. Okay, let's elaborate here. Matrat and Cha. Which rule is applied here? This is one.
Tatav paravarno lachata vargeshu.
Yeah, this is Dattav Paravarnav Lachat Vargeshu Nityam. So by that rule, because Cha is following and Cha belongs to Cha Varga, so this Ta changes into Cha. So it changed into Cha. Sorry. Then again, which rule will be applied here? Just see, we have Cha here. Yadav Matre Hari Kamalam. Again the same thing, because Cha is following and Cha is a Yadava. So this letter, this Vishnu Dasa will convert into Hari Kamala, and which is Matraj. So it becomes Matraj Cha. So Shrikant Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Shrikant.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So English, do you understand English?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, so because you are attending for the first time,
yes, Prabhu.
So it will be little confusing for you what's going on here.
Yes.
So in our group we have posted the link for the playlist.
Yes.
You know, we are posting all the recorded videos on YouTube, so
yes,
you can go through all of them, and wherever you need some clarification, you can ask personally.
Yes.
And also simultaneously you can attend these classes and cope up so that you can come here. Is that fine?
Yes, Prabhu. Fine. Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna.
Guruji, I have one question in this Matra Cha. Like, how do we decide the order of the sutra, in which order to apply? Like when we had Matra, then why don't we directly apply Yadav Matre Hari Kamalam?
Yadav Matre Hari Kamalam. Like we had this Matra and Cha.
Yeah.
No, but we have this special sutra here, right? Dvisureshwara Matra Cha. And it's not an optional rule here. It's a regular rule that has to be supplied if the prerequisites are being fulfilled. Which is, if Cha is following. No, sorry. This is Datta Paravarna. I'm sorry.
I was asking about
so
that.
Datta Paravarna Lacha Vargeshu Nityam. It says Nityam. Nityam means it's a regular rule and it's not an optional rule. So that's why we have to convert it into Cha and then Yadav Matra Hari Kamalam, then Cha. Okay?
Okay.
So Dvi Sareshwara Matra Cha, and then we applied Yadav Matra. Hari Kamalam. And that's how we got this Krishna Chhatram. Yes, so this is also very famous Sandhi. We'll come across many such instances. Okay. Then Vishnu Padantat Trivikramadva, the next sutra. Cha Rama is optionally reduplicated. It says wherever you see this va stands for an optionality, like it's an option. You can or you cannot do. So Cha Rama is optionally reduplicated when it comes after a Trivikrama situated at the end of a Vishnupada. So we know what is Trivikrama, all the long vowels, they are Trivikrama. Purvo, Vamana, Paras Trivikrama. So all the long vowels. So when at the end of a word, which is Vishnu Padanta. So Abhinandan Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
You were asking for Vishnu Padanta, right?
No. I think Padman Mukh Nimai Prabhu was asking.
Yeah, Padman Mukh Nimai Prabhu. So Padman Mukh Nimai Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
So here we can understand a bit about Vishnu Padanta.
Yeah.
So when a Trivikrama is situated at the end of a Vishnu Pada. So here Yamuna is a Vishnu Pada. And the Trivikrama word is this A.
No, this point I understood. My So the problem was that how to understand what is Vishnupada, what is not.
Yeah, means that technicality will be disclosed in the next chapter.
Some sutras, it said that previously that, okay, just like what was that sutra today? I was revising it. One of the sutra, Vishnudasa Vishnupadante Hari Ghosha Cha Hari Gada. It says that, okay, if Vishnudasa comes at the end of Vishnupadanta, Vishnupada, then it becomes Hari Gada.
Yes.
If a Vishnudasa doesn't come at the end of Vishnupada, but still there is Hari Ghosha following, then it will be.
Yeah, means that part I told you that I have left that part because it depends on, first of all, we must know what is Vishnupada. So for the time being, a word is a Vishnupada for us. Yeah. So yes, if we have got a Trivikrama letter, a Dirgha letter at the end of a word, then, and if Cha Rama follows, so what will happen is, this Cha will optionally be reduplicated. So Yamuna and Chaya. So here, first, one option is that we leave it as it is, Yamuna Chaya, that is done. But if we apply this rule, Vishnu Padanta Trivikramat Va, then what will happen is, Yamuna will reduplicate Chaya. And again, we'll apply Yadav Matre Harikamalam in the same style. So it will become Yamuna Chaya. And in Devanagari, it will be Yamuna Chaya.
So, Prabhupada, this rule is like exception to the earlier rule because Sarveshwar includes Vaman and Trivikrama.
Yes.
Okay.
This is an exceptional rule for the previous one.
So that means it is sure that always there are two rules will be applied related to this. One is this current one, another is Yadava Matra Hari Kamalam.
Yes, means because Cha is anyways a Yadava, so when Cha is reduplicated, it has to convert into Cha. So Yadav Matre Harikamalam will be applied always in this case. Okay. So yeah, one more time. Okay, what is this exceptional rule for Dvisureshwara Matra Cha? That first we studied the Sutra Dvisarveshwara Matra Cha, where it was said that when Cha, only the Cha, follows after any Sarveshwara, then that Cha will be reduplicated. But in the second sutra, it says, but amongst the Sarveshwaras, if the long lettered Sarveshwara is followed by Cha, then it is optionally reduplicated. So it's an exception to the first rule. It's a same category, but it becomes optional with a different set, the long letter and then Cha. That's it. Okay. So these two are quite easy ones. Then Ang Mang Bhyam Nityam. Yes, Ang Mang Bhyam Nityam. This is also interesting. Cha Rama is this sounds a little funny. Ang Mang. Cha Rama is always reduplicated when it comes after Ang. These are all prefixes actually. Ang is a prefix, but Mang is not a prefix. It's like an avyaya actually, Mang. Like the Valmiki said the first verse of Valmiki Ramayana, if anyone remembers, Ma Nishada, he said. Ma Nishada Pratishtham Tvam, and so and so. So here This ma is an avyaya, which means not. That O Nishada, you should not, live any longer. So this ma means not, and it's an avyaya. So this mang is an avyaya, and this ang is a prefix. So Charama is always reduplicated when it comes after these two. So see, this sutra is a sort of further exception to the previous sutra, because in the previous sutra it was said when cha comes after long a, then the reduplication is optional. But here it says, but if it comes after the specific ang, then it has to be implied, and it's not an option here.
What is the meaning of putting this in bracket ang?
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
because even in Vibhakti's declination table, the general declination table, we see that there is like in bracket written.
These are used for 2 or 3 reasons, and one reason is to facilitate pronunciation, like ang. Second reason is because there are many similar pratyas. So to differentiate them using different such words in parentheses.
Mhm.
So in the second chapter, in the very beginning, Jiva Goswami will clarify what is the use of this, these letters
Okay.
and brackets.
Okay.
So the first example is ang, and whatever is there in these brackets, we don't use them. We just use the remaining part. Even the famous Shankaracharya verse, Nahi Rakshati Dukri Karane. So you will see like this. Do. Yes. So you will see that Dukriya, I don't know if in verses you will see like this or not, but this is how Dukriya is written. It means only this Kri is usable, and whatever is there in brackets is not used. So from Kri we get Karoti, from Kri we get many things. And just what my teacher shared this with me, that in English, Kri is translated as to do, isn't it? So my teacher was supposing that this word do was taken from this do here. Might be possible. Anyhow, the thieves, the copyright thieves, they take things, manipulates, and write their own names. Anyhow, so ang chadayati. So we reduplicate ang plus chadayati. So this cha is reduplicated by this sutra ang mang bhyam nityam. So reduplication happened. Again, Yadav Matre Harikamalam. Cha remains. So it's the famous word we know. Achadayati. Achadayati, to cover. And many similar words. Achaditi when we say achadita, and so on. Yeah. And then next example is, okay, I'll write in mang plus chidat. So we reduplicate this cha So in this case, we will not reduplicate this E matra. We'll just reduplicate this part, because it says the cha needs to be reduplicated, not the matras, the vowels in it or with it. So we'll apply ma yadav matra harikamlam ma chidat, like this, which means don't cut, take hours. So was that clear? 3 sutras working with cha.
Yes, please.
This next sutra is very interesting actually. Okay, we'll just stop the grammar here. I just want to ask if anyone has got any questions regarding the previous sandhis, because I observed many what do you say, means in the test I saw some confusion prevailing. So if anyone has got anything to be asked.
Here thing, test results, are we going to discuss the corrections of them?
Yes, means tomorrow we'll do that. We'll go through the full test in the class. We'll do each one. We'll discuss each Sunday.
Prabhuji, I am getting confused in this Marama, Vishnu Chakra, then
yes,
like,
I noticed that. So that's very simple, Prabhuji, just to explain it. For example, we have Krishnam, and then we have something like Krishnam Vadati. So in this case, Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. That Mo means the letter Ma will convert into a Vishnu Chakra. Now Vishnu Chakra simply means an Anuswara. You know, that dot above. Will convert into an Anuswara, a Vishnu Chakra, when any consonant follow and not a vowel. Any consonant. So here, Ba is a consonant. So this Ma will simply convert into this Anuswara or Vishnu Chakra. Okay?
Yeah. Now my confusion was when I should have that dot above and when I should write it in the other way. We had done in
yes.
Case of Sankirtan.
So in this case, see, when you get something from Hari Gotra or Hari Mitra. So Hari Gotra is Sha, Sha, Sa, Ha, and Hari Mitra is Yaralava. So Yaralava, they don't have any Anunasik Varna, and Sha, Sha, Sa, Ha, even they don't have any Anunasik Varna. So when you have got any of those 8 letters, you know, following Ma, so this will just convert into the Anuswara, and that's all, because they do not have any Anunasika Varna. But if you get something like, you know, some word starting, some word from the 5 Vargas, let's say Tarati.
Okay.
So in this case, we'll have 2 answers. First one is Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, Krishnam Tarati, simple. And the second will be this Ma, or rather, first we have to convert this into Anuswar, Vishnu Chakra, and then we'll convert this Vishnu Chakra further into the Hari Venu as per the following Varna. So Ta belongs to Ta Varga, so the Anunasik of Ta Varga is Na Rama, Ta, Tha, Da, Dha, Na. So it will be Krishnan Tarati. But even though, you know, in Shastras, in scriptures, 99% you will see these usages. You will randomly see such usage. Very random. So even though you forget.
Came from which sutra, the second one came from which sutra? Krishnam.
विष्णु चक्र से हरिवेणुर विष्णु वर्गे विष्णु पदांत से तू वा.
Okay.
Yeah. So-
Suppose like if I have say Krishnam Chalati Cha Varga, then
Krishnam.
Nya, then it will be
Yeah. First one will be Krishnam Chalati, and then second one will be Krishnam Chalati.
So if I have let's say Krishnam Bhajati, then it will be Krishnam.
Then ma
like this.
Like this. Krishnam Bhajati or Krishnam Bhajati. Yeah, but even means this use is very much to be seen, and you'll rarely see this one used. But still, it's a rule, so I'm just discussing.
This dot that we place above Krishnam, this is of the Ka Varga.
Ka Varga?
Oh, this is separate, that Anuswar. I was getting...
This is Vishnu Chakra,
Yeah. Oh,
this is Vishnu Chakra, Anuswar.
And Prabhuji, you had shown the way...
Just 1 minute.
Is it that just way of people are just following 95% of Krishna Chalati, rather than not accepting the Sutra, second Krishna Chalati? Is it that because of the Sutras is optional, or?
Yes. Also means one devotee is asking, means he's commenting that because in the second sutra, Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenur Vishnu Varga Vishnu Padantasya tu Va. So Va stands for optionality. So because that rule is optional, these are optional. This is also right, and this is also right. So in the scriptures, you will mostly see this. So it means generally, whoever they write in Sanskrit, they prefer this one. We can understand in this way. Yes.
Also, Prabhuji, you had showed what that way of writing Sankirtan, the correct way.
I think everyone did right. This was, Sankirtana.
Yeah.
Means here only one form will be applicable. We cannot write like this in Sanskrit. In Hindi we write anything. In Sanskrit this is wrong. This is right. Sankirtan. Sankirtanai ka we say. So this is right. Sankirtanai.
So this Sankirtan, this is also following that sutra, Prabhuji?
Yes, this Vishnu Chakrasya Harivenur Vishnu Varga Vishnu Padantasya Tuva, that one.
Oh.
Okay?
Yes, Prabhuji, thank you.
Okay, so we'll do some Bhagavad Gita. Which verse are we supposed to do today?
ट्वेल्व करना था
कौन सा? 12. Okay. So we'll do verse 12. Tasya sun. See, I'm writing this as sun and not as sung. Okay? Because we have ja varna following, which belongs to cha varga, and cha, cha, ja, jha, nya. So even that second rule is applied here. Tasya san janayan harsham kuru vritha. Kuru Viddha Damaha Singhanadam Vinadyochai Singhanadam Vinadyochai Shankham Dadmau. Is that right? Shankham Dadmau Pratapman. See, even if you want to write Sham Yukt Kara, just more clarification. This is not related to the verse. Just Sham Kara. So how will you do this? Applying those two sutras, Mo Vishnu Chakram and the next one. Sham Yukt Kara. So first we'll apply Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane. So it will be Sham Kara. And then the next sutra, Vishnu Chakrasya Hari Venu. Vishnu Varga Vishnu Vedanta Se Tuva. So we have Vishnu Chakra here, and then we have a letter from Ka Varga, which is Ka itself here. So Ka Kha Ga Gha Nga. So it will be Shankara, Lord Shiva. So this is the right way to write of writing Shankara, and not this one. Just more.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you. It is clear now.
Means okay. So we'll start this verse. Tasya. This Devanagari is right? Or English? Means I think everyone understands Devanagari. So Tasya, what is Tasya? Is it a noun? Is it a verb, adjective, pronoun, or something else?
Pronoun.
Yeah, it's a pronoun actually. And what is the mool shabda, the root word for Tasya? It is Tat. And any guess about which vibhakti is this?
7.
Which vibhakti? Which
7.1.
No. Tasya. Yeah, someone is suggesting 6.
6.1.
6.1. Yes. So this is singular. This Tasya. And it means
Of him.
of him. Next word is Sanjanayan. 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 What is Sanjanayan? What is this word? Is the means noun or something else? Anyone? What is Sanjanayan? Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Or looks like a subverb? Or an adjective? Preposition? So I think so. This is actually a kridanta, a participle. So the kridantas, I told you earlier, they are made by adding special Kridanta pratyas after the verbs, and when such pratyas they add into such particular verb, the root verb, then it converts into a noun, and that noun they are called as Kridantas or participles in English. So it's a sort of noun, but not proper noun. Like Rama, Krishna, they are proper nouns. But Sanjana, in this category is known as participles or Kridanta in Sanskrit. So if we break these two words, we get Sam and Janayan. So what does Janayan mean here? What does Janayan mean? Okay, someone is suggesting Jana means people, and then Yan, some relation, some form. Okay. Anyone? What is Janayan here? Okay, just what is? Mm-hmm.
Janam is related to give birth type of.
You are going in the right direction. One devotee is saying it's related to birth, Janma. Yeah, closer. Even the word Janani, we say Janani is a mother. Even we say Jantu, those who are born, Jantu. So I'm just giving all these words to get you to this root, the meaning of this root, which is Jan. Jan. So here, Janayan means पैदा करना. Or how do we say it in English? To create? Not in that sense. What does Prabhupada say? Means Bhishma, he wanted to create happiness, harsham. So let's use the word create unless we get some better word. Utpan karna, to create. And some stands for to create fully, let's say, samyak prakarena janayati. Then the next word is harsham. Again, everyone. So in the verse, we have got this M, ma with a dot above, which is an anuswara. And this had happened by Mo Vishnu Chakram Vishnu Jane, because this ka is a Vishnu Jana following. So when we undo the sandhi, we write it normally, harsham. So what is harsham here? Noun, adjective, pronoun, or something else? So harsham is a noun. And which case is this? If you remember,
2.1.
Yeah, this is 2.1. Krishna, Krishnau, Krishnaha, Krishnam. So harshaha, harshav, harshaha, harsham. So this is 2.1, and this is masculine. Of course, even this one was masculine. And what does harsham mean?
Joy. Joy.
Okay, joy or happiness. Okay. Then the next word is Kuru Vridhaha. So what is Kuru Vridhaha?
Adjective.
Actually, I'm also confused here because Pitamaha and Kuru Vridha. If we had the word Bhishma here, then that was super clear. That would be super clear that Bhishma is a proper noun, and Kuru Vridha and Pitamaha, they are both adjectives. But here it's like upon us, we can choose anyone as a noun and as a Visheshya, and the second one as an adjective or a Visheshana. So
then in this case, like generally we go with the general thing, the popular, because Pitama word many times it has been used to denote Bhishma, not like Kuru Vridha. Means because Pitama word is just like synonym to Bhishma.
Also, actually, also that one point is there. I also mentioned it in the last some class that sometimes a proper noun is given way back in some previous shlokas, and then in the following verses we only get adjectives or pronouns related to that person. So if we see the previous verse, so it says Bhishmam here. So in that case we should consider both words as adjectives here, because Bhishma was conveyed in the previous verse.
Okay.
So this is adjective. And which case is this?
1.1.
Yeah, this is like Krishna word ending in a, and literally it means, what does it mean literally, the word?
The elder of Kuru dynasty.
Let's use the superlative degree. The eldest of the Kuru dynasty. Okay, so Kuru is a word here, and Vrid is a dhatu. Vrid is a dhatu. So first Vrid is made into Vridha. Then we join Kuru Vridha, and it's a compound actually, samasa. But Vridha was formed from Vrid. So Kuru Vridha is a compound, and it's Pitambar compound according to Harinamamrit, and it's Bahuvrihi compound as per the Panini. Yeah, we'll discuss this later. Then the next word is Pitamaha. So this is an adjective, and this is also 1.1. And it's masculine, of course. Okay, if we want to convey this word Pitamaha into a feminine word, so how will we reform this word Pitamaha? Anyone?
Pitamahi.
Yeah, just it will be Pitamahi. So Pitamaha and Pitamahi. But it even in Hindi words it works like Chacha and Chachi, and Mama, Mami, but not with Papa and Mummy. The general joke we would crack in schools. Anyhow. Sorry for that. Okay, what does it literally mean, Pitamaha? I like the word grandsire actually. Grandsire or grandfather even. Or sometimes even great grandfather. The next word is Singhanadam. Oh, sorry. It should be Singhanadam. Singhanadam. So again, a Vishnu Chakra converted. Undoing it is Nadam. So what is Singhanadam here?
Noun.
Yeah, it's a noun here. And what does Singhanadam? What does the word Nadam mean? Okay,
Sound.
which case is this, first of all? This is 2.1, like Krishnam. Let's just recheck it in the dictionary. Yeah, it should be 2.1. So Nadam means a sound, and in this case, Nadam stands as roaring because of the word Singha preceding it. So the lion roars. So the roaring of a lion. And one more thing to be noticed here is that this is metaphorical usage actually. Means literally, not no lion was roaring on the battlefield. The conch shell which Bhishma blew was roaring like a lion. So it's a comparison. It's like an upama, not that South Indian dish upama, suji wala, but upama here is metaphor in English. Singhanadam. That sound was appeared or sounded like the roaring of a lion, which means that sound was not just a mere sound limited to a particular area, space, geographical location, but it spread like anything in all the directions. Just like when a lion roar, that roar spreads into the jungle beyond the geographical locations, beyond the limited geographical locations. Similarly, when Bhishma blew his conch shell, the roar of his conch shell was spread like the roar of a lion. So this is a metaphorical usage actually, and this is very much used in the verses. The next word is Vinadya. Oops, it was Vinadyochai. And here we have two words. First one is Vinadya, and next word is Uchchai. So Vinadya here means after blowing. And Uchchai means loudly. Now this Uchchai is not like Krishnai 3.3. 3.3 of Krishna is Krishnai, if you remember. So you might wonder or that it's like 3.3. But this Uchchai is an avyaya, and which means loudly. Uchchai. So it's not a noun here, it's an avyaya, and which means loudly. So he blew loudly. What did he blew? He blew Shankham. Yeah, again, we undid the Sandhi. Shankham. What is Shankham here? Noun, adverb, or something else? What is Shankham here?
Noun.
Yeah, this is a noun. And which case?
2.1.
Yeah, this is 2.1. I think Shankham is masculine. It's a masculine word. And it means conch shell. Conch shell. Shankham. Then Dadmau. Dadmau is very interesting. Dadmau, what is Dadmau? Means a noun, adverb, verb, or something else.
Verb.
Yeah, this is verb actually. This is verb. Can anyone tell what is the root of Dadmo? The root verb? No, it's quite. So actually, this is Dma. You know, we say Dhamaka. Sorry. But it's Dma actually. From Dma became Dadmo. This will cover in third chapter whenever we reach. So from Dma, Dma means, you know, when some noise is made. Blowing, you see? So Dma means, and Dha means blue, hair blue. And the next word is Pratapavan. What is Pratapavan here?
Adjective.
Yeah, this is an adjective. And this is an adjective of whom?
Bhishma Pitama.
But you know what?
Kuru brother. Kuru brother. Adjective for Kuru brother.
Yeah, valiant. Yes. So it's an adjective of Pita Bhishma, and this is 1.1. Like Bhagavan, you know, Bhagavat, from Bhagavat becomes Bhagavan, from Buddhimat becomes Buddhiman, and so on. Similarly, from Pratap Vat, it becomes Pratapvan, 1.1. This is masculine, and it means valiant as per Prabhupada's translation. Oh, yeah, valiant, heroic, valiant. Okay, so quickly we'll just map it. What is the main verb here?
Dadmo.
Dadmo. Okay, Dadmo means blue. What was blown?
Shankham.
Shankham. Shankham. Okay. And what? How was the Shankha blown? Means what was the quality of that sound?
Uchchay.
Yeah, one is of course Uchchai. We'll connect it with. We'll put it here. One was Uchchai. It was blown loudly. And what was the comparison done with Shankham?
Singhanadam.
Yeah, Singhanadam. Singhanadam. And this Vinadya actually will come here after Uchchai. We'll just come to this again. Okay, who blew it?
Pitamaha.
Pitamaha. What more about Pitamaha? He is Kuru Vriddha. Of course, one more discussion can happen for Vriddha. Two types of Vriddhas are there. One is Ayu, Vayo Vriddha and Jnana Vriddha. So Bhishma Pitamaha was both. He was Vayo Vriddha, means he was elder in age, eldest of, you know, all present in the battlefield, age-wise, and he was also eldest, Vriddha, Jnana Vriddha, means he was most matured person on the battlefield, except for Krishna, of course, or amongst Kurus, if we are discussing about Kurus. What more about Kuru Vriddha? He was Pratapavan. And why did he blew the Shankham?
Sanjayan Harsham.
Harsham Sanjanayan. So he blew for Dadmau. Why? Let's put it here. Harsham to make happy or to create happiness. And of whom? Whom did he want to make happy?
Tasya, Duryodhana.
Tasya. Yeah, Tasya. We'll put it here. So Pratapavan, Kuru Vridha Pitamaha, Dadmau, he blew. What did he blew? He blew Shankham. How did he blew? Uchchai, which sounded like the roar of a lion. And this is connected to Singhanadam. As if, it will be translated as if the roar of a lion is resounding. This is the sense of this Vinadya Singhanadam. And he blew to create Tasya Harsham Sanjanayan. This was the reason. He blew. So let's connect. Yeah, here. Tasya here means Duryodhanasya. Duryodhanasya. Tasya here, Duryodhanasya. Okay? Something like that. Was it clear? Vinadya here means Singhanadam Vinadya. As if Vinadya, let's take the meaning of Vinadya as resounding or resonating. So, just like the roar of a lion resonates, echoes in the forest. Similarly, the loud blew or the sound from the shankha resonated. This is the meaning. In all directions. So, yeah, this is the meaning. Any more clarification, comments, something like that? Okay, so if we want to do Anvaya for this, speak in a prose, then we'll speak it like this. Tasya Harsham Sanjanayan Pratapavan Kuru Vridha Pitamaha Singhanadam Vinadya, and in brackets Iva. Iva means like. Shankham, Uchchai Shankham Dadmau. Means actually, I've got one more seva. Otherwise, I would have written it here. Let's write it quickly. Okay. So, Tasya Harsham Sanjanayan, then Pratapavan, then comes. This is the Anvaya of this verse. Tasya Harsham Sanjanayan Pratapavan Kuru Vridha Pitamaha Sinhanadam vinadya iva. Iva. Uchai shankham dad iti. Okay. So this was the Anvay for this. Okay, so I think the shlok was clear, and I will send it to you on the group. So thank you very much. We'll meet tomorrow 6:45 p.m. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji.